Now, I'm pretty sure we did questions like this in middle school. Perhaps not as complex that we'll see of them, but we'll be able to get it. Order of operations. What happens when we get questions where there's more than one operation? Or there's grouping symbols in there. And by grouping symbols, I mean parentheses and brackets. And there's other grouping symbols in the about. So you have to do things in a certain order. Otherwise, your calculations will likely be incorrect. And usually, and it depends, I use the word headmass. Some might use BEMDAS, some might use BEDMAS. There might be other ones that you've thought of. Okay, but I told you guys what I think P stands for. Parentheses. And also included up in here are brackets. Remember, parentheses are the rounded ones, the grouping symbols. Brackets are the square ones. Okay? And a good math question will have parentheses inside and brackets outside, but we'll see that in a second. E for exponents, which we're not going to look at just yet, but we will. We're going to do a whole unit on exponents, and then we're going to do algebra with exponents. So that'll come later on in the year. D and M together. Division and right. How do you know which one to do first?
Right to left first.
Right to left, or sorry, left to right. Perfect. Whatever comes first. And obviously this one is addition and subtraction. Again, whatever comes first as we move left to right in the question. Okay, so let's look at some examples. Remember, when you have two numbers that are right up against each other and one or both of them are in parentheses, so it could look like this, or it could just look like this. These mean the same thing. What does that mean? What operation? Multiplication. Okay. So when we tackle these questions, well, yes, I've got parentheses, but there's nothing being done inside them, is there? There's no operation, so I don't have to worry about this. Okay. Like I said, exponents we're not going to worry about. Addition and, multiplication and division come next. This has got to go first. And what is -4 times 3? -12, and I have +5. Okay? Only thing left to do is the adding. What is -12 plus 5? -7, and we are done. Okay? Next one. What kind of operations are happening here in this question? I've got some multiplication going on. I've got some addition going on. Possible subtraction, yes. Depending on how you do the question, that's right. So multiplication, addition, subtraction, that means the multiplication first. That's multiplication, and that's multiplication. So -2 times -4, 8, plus 5 times -2, -10. And normally we would keep it in parentheses to keep these separate, but if you write it like this, it's fine. Because we're going to be changing this to what? Minus. So yeah, so we had multiplication and addition, but we also had subtraction as we were moving down. And our final answer? -2. See if you can do C. You guys take a shot at C. Now there's something happening in parentheses. And we've got a number right up against parentheses. And we've got some subtraction going on. So we've got a few things to deal with here. Things to have the answer. Romy?
Well, I would start with the bracket with the parentheses
Okay.
because it's in the parentheses. So if you want to start with whatever's in the parentheses,
Okay.
so I would do 10 subtract 3, and then since there's no symbol, I know it's multiplication, so times 3.
So you're going to do it like that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
And then-
Or, hang on. This is also fine too. You got to show multiplication, so you can put parentheses around the second 3. Either of those is fine. Yep, go ahead.
And then I do 10 subtract 3, which is 7, and then. Oh no, I do 10 subtract 3 times 3.
So we do the 3 times 3 first. And you get?
9
And 10 subtract 9?
is 1.
Good. What's that? There's no brackets in this question. There's only parentheses. What do you mean, what about them?
Oh, okay.
We did it inside. It becomes 3. Okay, let's get a little harder.
Oh, now there's parentheses and brackets.
Now there's parentheses and brackets. And the way questions should look is you always work from the inside out. So we're going to work from the parentheses inside, do what's in there, then we got to do what's in the brackets, then we got to do whatever's left. So the only thing we're going to do is to subtract 5. Everything else stays the same. The brackets are still there. The 5 minus, the 6 minus is still there, except the 2 subtract 5 becomes
3. Negative. Oh, my bad. Negative 3.
-3. And again, you can put parentheses around it. If you don't, not a huge deal. Nothing left to do in parentheses, but there is some stuff to do in brackets. 6 subtract -3. Two negatives become a positive. So this becomes positive. And so really, I didn't even need the brackets to put around. I could have disappeared them. That's fine. But if they're there, that's fine too. So 5 subtract 9, -4. That's our final. This one I want you to try. Give it a shot. See what you can do with it. And then I'm just going to ask for answers. Who wants to give me what they think might be the answer? -24. Any other answers? 3. Doing that in your head, that's pretty bold. That's Romy?
I got 12.
12. Ingrid? -2. -12. This is usually what happens. Okay, all right, let's have a look. What am I gonna do first?
Parentheses, do the parentheses.
2 minus 4. So looks like we all agree on that. So this doesn't get touched. 6 minus 3 doesn't get touched. 2 subtract 4 is, and remember, it's being multiplied, right? So you're either going to write the multiplication symbol, or you've got to write -2 in parentheses. Okay? Well, nothing left to do in parentheses, so we got to work in the brackets. This is where some mistakes might have been made. What do I do next?
3, so like 6 changes, I agree, do you multiply it?
Yep.
6.
Don't do the 6 minus 3. We do multiplication before subtraction. So that's going to give us -2. 6 minus 3 times -2 is -6, so it's actually going to change to plus eventually. -2, this becomes 6 plus 6, 12. -2 times 12, -24. Okay. These will come with practice. The reason why these are a little bit tricky is because there's so many things that you have to do. There's so many steps. And once, of course, you make one little mistake, like if there's a mistake with the plus or minus sign, the answer is eventually going to be wrong. Okay, but that's why, I mean, these things aren't worth 1 mark. Like a question like this to me is worth like at least 3 marks because you're doing a lot of stuff. Okay. So if you make one little mistake, you say this is 2 instead of -2, to me, that's like 2.5 out of 3. You just made one little error and not even worth a full mark error. Okay, I'm going to stop there.